Ooh, hey guys, how you doing? Holy cow, look at all the growth we've had. I thought I would do an update of the cash crop in my closets. This is my winter project, growing these Monstera Albo plants, these highly variegated ones. If you didn't see my other video, these are can be very expensive plants when they're like sectoral variegated like this. So this is basically a mutation. So they call it variegation. So there's different types like this marbling. Some of this plant has just went crazy. Here, I almost have to hold you guys back farther. See, this whole plant that's wiggling is now, this was the mother plant that I chopped up, and it's already sprouted all this growth. Ooh, here's going to be a real nice one. I can see all the whites that are already on it. So we will go look at the other closet in a minute where all the babies are, where we propagated off of here. We kind of cut single leaves off of here from the stem points, you know. We actually cut sections of the stem out, rooted them, and turning them into their own plants. So that's basically what you do is you get your hands on some kind of, you know, variegated rare plant like this, and it gives you a chance to earn some money in your closet over the winter. As long as you got a little bit of a green thumb. Look at this, guys. This plant, there's 3 plants in this bin back here. There's a big deep bin of soil, and then there's one, I call this a mother plant. There's one in a big pot here, but this one on the right was so much smaller in the last video. Look at this leaf, by the way. Oh my goodness. But look, it's even shooting out some full white leaves. Isn't that just insane? Which in some cases is not a good thing because they're beautiful and can add value to the plant. Like, you know, actual monetary value. But since there's no green, there's no photosynthesis happen. There's no chlorophyll in there. So this leaf is doing nothing for the plant. So when you have a plant like this, you're hoping that it doesn't just keep producing white. Even though they're super cool and kind of sought after and add value to the plant, you want the next leaf to have green. And so I was crossing my fingers after this one popped out. And luckily, this big, I call it a quarter moon. So this huge leaf came out, and see, it's just got a quarter of it is white. And it's a gorgeous leaf. So I was so happy about that. And then the very next one is back to all white. So I think it's going to stagger. See, the one before this one was quarter moon. So I think this one's going to stagger from quarter moon to full white. So see, and it wasn't like that when I bought the plant because it was smaller and it was a little different. It was kind of just doing this half moon thing down here. So they call it a half moon if half the leaf has fully variegated white. But so if this thing keeps up with the quarter moon all white, that's going to be a really cool variation of this variegation. Wow. So anyway, and then, so otherwise they could do another thing like this. This plant over here has been putting out a quarter moon like this one, and then it goes to an all green. Which this one's floppy because it just unfolded. This leaf's going to be gigantic. You can already see how big this is. It's, can you guys see all the fenestrations in it? All these little holes and lines. Like, isn't it cool? But this was real floppy because it just unfolded. This leaf's going to be giant. And then every other one, see, the one before was this one. So like it's been shooting out a quarter moon and then an all green, which is cool. Like, it's probably not quite as pricey of a, you know, cutting or plant, but it's more stable, and it would be probably it could be a faster grower because it's got more chlorophyll and stuff. But this plant is actually growing faster, so I guess that's not always true. So this one in the middle is the smaller of the plants, but it's kind of marbled. It's basically the same as this mother plant, but it has a little more tendency to go with the half moon. But as you can see, even this big old marbly mother plant here does do half moon sometimes, because see this leaf down here? And then this one is gonna, I can't wait to see this one when it's unrolled, but I can tell, look, it's got a lot of white. So if you get a whole lot of marbling or some kind of neat variegations like that, then you got some real sought after Oops, my camera turned off. It didn't like me telling all my secrets about these plants. Okay, we got to whisper so nobody hears us. Yeah, you can actually, some people make some pretty good money or even make a living going to shows and selling cuttings and stuff online. So sometimes these single leaves are worth, you know, $30, $40, $50 each when they have the little rooted end on them. So, because I try to encourage them to shoot the roots out whenever I can to kind of prop themselves up. So look at all these crazy aerial roots in here. Can you see them? And then them are mostly aerial roots, but I try to mist them a lot. I do a lot of foliar feeding, and you can do stuff like this. So see, I decided to take a top cutting off of this plant. So I'm going to take a couple nodes off. So see, I have this cloth here, this wet cloth, and it's actually covering a container. And so it's rooting into this container right now. So I'm going to cut it back here behind there. There's probably even a root. Yeah, there's a root right here. So I will cut it right here in a couple more weeks or a month, and it'll already be rooted. So it'll be kind of like an established plant. So it won't take as long to recover and start growing. So I'll be able to turn this into kind of two mother plants, because then you can get a lot of cuttings. Because when we took the cuttings off of this one, it really branched out. It has at least 3 active growing tips, and there's a couple more that will start up right away down there if we were to cut more cuttings off. So it's very cool. All right, let's go and check on the cuttings that came off of this plant about 6 weeks ago. Or maybe it was a little longer. Maybe it was 2 months ago that they came off, but the last video we did, I think, was 6 weeks ago. So, all right, let's check on the other closet. What's that? I hear something, guys. What is that? Oh, hi, kitty! There's a Kiki in here. Okay, he wasn't locked in there. I just wanted him to say hi to you guys, but he ran away. Come on, kitty, come help. Help me do this video, kitty. Kitty, could you please help with the video? Oh, no! Okay, I guess the kitty doesn't want to help. Okay, that's okay. So yeah, here is the other grow closet here. If you guys remember it from the last video, I am using LED grow lights here. If you want more information about this setup and these plants and stuff, go watch the other video. I'll post it on the screen at the end of this video. It was called like Easy Plants, Easy Money or something like that. I talk more about the different types of irrigation and what these plants are. So, but this is just mostly an update video. Okay, so anyway, let's check on how these have progressed. So by the looks of it, a lot has happened. So actually every single one of them, except one, made it through the propagation process. So there is this one leaf that even in 6 weeks, it never produced any roots. So not a single root has ever came out of here. So this is going to be the one that probably doesn't make it. I call it the one leaf. It's still been alive somewhat for this whole time without a root. But every single one, so I'd say way over 90%, so like 95%, made it through the process. Some are still just poking up the growth point, like these, but they'll definitely make it because I've been watching the other ones do it also. And some are fully formed now into their own miniature little plants, you know. And look, we have one of the pure white leaves popped out here. So we'll see what happens, but I'm hoping there's still some green streaks on this part, so that should be okay. I'm hoping I get a partially marbled leaf on the next one. And this might be a good mother plant to grow up into a keeper, big giant one, you know. And then some of these other ones you could sell off, and you just keep splitting them and propagating them. So this one's so huge because it was the top cutting. So it was a top end cutting. So it already had, like let's say we cut this off right now, right here. This would be called a top cutting because it already has a growth point, like a growth tip, you know. These middle ones, you know, leaves like this, they have to sprout a new growth point out of the side. I'm actually touching it. It's a little bump that sticks out right there. If we cut this stem off right here, that little bump would eventually grow into a sprout like these, and then into this. and then into this. So yeah, this one's really far along. So yeah, they're doing really good, actually. I spray them every day, and it's been going really, really good. Okay, let me think if there's anything else we want to cover about these guys. Oh, see now, Kitty, now you're going to come help. Did you know, Mr. Kitty, that you attacked me earlier, please? Please think about what you've done. So something else cool is happening in here. I have my air plant, the king of air plants. Sometimes it's called Tillandsia Xerographica. Did I say that right? I probably butchered it. This is called the king of air plants. Look at this big thing. I've had it for like 4 or 5 years. It was real small, like this. And I thought if I put it in here, I'm running these plants at 24 hours a day light right now because I need photosynthesis to happen on even small areas. Because like in this case, all the photosynthesis is just happening from the green that's on that stem. So I need a lot of light and photosynthesis happening. So that's why I leave this on 24 hours at the moment. I'll probably switch it soon to 18.6. So this, I decided to put this air plant in because it was big enough that I think it was an adult. So I thought I could probably get it to flower. There's some other species hidden up in here too. There's like 3 other species up here that I've collected out in the wild. But yes, and sure enough, this middle part started stretching out. Oh my gosh, it is gorgeous. So it's got this really cool flower stalk coming out. So they have such a goofy looking flower, almost reminds me of like a succulent or something, you know. They got these little kind of violet little tube flowers that only last like a day. But this flower head, it's got some special name that I don't know, will last for weeks. It'll kind of be dinking around out here. It'll probably spread out and it gets some different tones of color and stuff. So we'll have to do an update and I'll have to make a little video on that too. So I think I'll spray. Where's my sprayer? Kitty, please go get my sprayer. Oh, thank you, Kitty. So every day or two, I spray this down. It's nice and warm in here and it never rots or nothing. So, and I'm also foliar feeding at the same time. So yeah, it's this Super Thrive Foliage Pro. So yeah, I've been doing 3 milliliters of that into like 68 ounces of water. So, and everything loves it. So it's not too crazy. So yeah, isn't that really neat? Oh, I can't wait. I wonder if these can self-pollinate. So I'm going to I'll probably have a little brush and I'll try to get it to self-pollinate, and I guess we can collect some seeds and try to propagate this. Why not? What a crazy slow process though, right? But I'm up for it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.